Arkle, Better Reading. Cheryl Arkle joining me, all of you at home today, for What Are You Reading? So, what are you reading? This is our usual Thursday segment, 2 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, and we are talking all things books. We are in November, and November, as we all know, is a book release month. A lot of the big titles come out in November in preparation for Christmas and summer reading. So what are you reading? Now jump on and tell me what you're reading. Now we've got a couple of things that I want to share with you today as well. I want to talk to you about some of our merch. We're going to have a little kind of pre-Christmas surprise for you there. Tell me what you're reading. I am reading, we are reading so much. So we're going to start, I'm going to start with Kerry Greenwood. I have really known about Kerry Greenwood and read and sold, because back in the days I used to be a bookseller, working on the shop floor, and I sold so many Kerry Greenwood books. But also, she is really an Australian crime writer that has been writing crime way before the genre kind of took off with Jane Harper. She has been at it for a very long time, writing great crime. It's also been a TV series. But anyway, she sadly passed away just recently, and this is her latest book. This is a book that she worked on and that was published recently. And I'm not sure whether it's her last book or she delivered a couple of manuscripts before she died. But anyway, Kerry Greenwood, great Australian writer, Vale Kerry, and her new book is called Murder in the Cathedral. Tell me if you guys know about Kerry Greenwood as well, because I think for us readers that have been reading for a long time, she has been there in the background and in the forefront, and and has been writing for quite a long time. She's also been part of, I think it's the Crime Writers people down in Victoria. She has really powered through, I think, the genre, if you like, and helped other authors to, debut authors to take off as well. Anyway, Kerry Greenwood, and this is Murder in the Cathedral. Okay, Cheryl Arkle, what are you reading? Tell me what you're reading. Tell me if you've read Kerry Greenwood, right? Or you might have even watched the TV series. Okay, all right, what else are we reading? Oh, Kathy Reichs, Evil Bones. Now, as we all know, I think this is, what number book? 24th book of Kathy Reichs. I have probably recorded 2 podcasts with Kathy, one in person and one via Zoom, I think. And she is, you all probably already know this, she is a forensic pathologist herself. And to the point when 9/11 happened, Kathy was one of the people working on Staten Island, trying to identify and find remains of people that were affected by that. So she was there, right there on the ground, working. So she's the real deal. She's been writing for a long time. Her books have been made into a TV series, and this is her new book, and it's called Evil Bones by Kathy Reichs. Okay, welcome everyone. Cheryl Arkle, what are you reading? This is our favourite segment. I need to know what you're reading. Let's have a look. Who's joined us already? Okay. What are you reading? Malvina. Hello, Malvina. Good afternoon, Cheryl. I'm reading The Impossible Fortune by Richard Osman. We love Richard. The latest Thursday Murder Book Club. I feel guilty about laughing at murder so much. He's very funny. He's a really quirky guy. I've actually recorded 2 podcasts with him as well, one on Zoom and one he came into the office, and I think I said this last week. He is a very, very tall man. But anyway, wonderful reading, and yes, I think you're meant to be laughing too, Malvina, so don't worry about that. Hello, Kylie. Kylie is currently reading Stillwater by Tanya Scott. It's a debut, and she's liking it so far. Jessica says, hi, Cheryl. I'm reading Say You're Sorry by Michael Robotham, a favourite of Better Reading. We just love Michael so much. He writes excellent crime, and he's got another book coming out next year as well. Now, what am I reading? I want to tell you about this book because this young fellow, Andrew Sloan, came in yesterday to record a podcast with me, and we'll talk about it again. But this appealed to me because of the title. It said, "Why Things Feel Fucked," really. And I'm not sure, are we allowed to swear on Facebook? We'll put a beep in it, right? But you know what I mean. And I've really felt that the world is feeling not quite right, if you like. So I tracked him down. I tracked Andrew down and asked him to come in and record a podcast with me. He was so motivational. I mean, you know, he's a psychotherapist himself. Well, he's a qualified therapist anyway. I'm not quite sure what his qualifications are, but he is very qualified. But he really has a very practical and scientific approach to what's happening in the world, but also how, not necessarily how to deal with it, but how to live with it, how to live with all the stress that's surrounding us. And I really found our conversation quite riveting and helpful, actually. So that's the book out, and it's called Why Things Feel Terrible, or you know what I mean. Okay. All right. Hi, everybody. Cheryl Arkle. What are you reading? Tell me what you're reading. Okay. I did ask the question, Murder in the Cathedral, Kerry Greenwood. Let me know if you've read any Kerry Greenwood. Okay. What do we got? Jane Harvey. Hi, I'm reading The Betrayal by Kate Furnivall. It's a great read. The Woman's Garden, she says hi. I don't know what her real name is, but she's coming to us via YouTube, which is fantastic. She said it's sad to hear that Kerry Greenwood passed away. Just finished rewatching the TV series and movie. Yeah, it is. She died, I think, a couple of weeks ago, or maybe a month ago. Ross, hi Ross. Ross is currently reading and enjoying a crime drama called Cast a Cold Eye by Scottish author Robbie Morrison. Thank you, Ross. Thanks for sharing that. Marie says, hi Cheryl, I am rereading Jasper Jones by Craig Silvey. Don't you love rereading? I think it's a little bit, underrated. I quite like it because, not that I'd probably read the same book in the same year, but there are books that I like to revisit, and I think very often when you're reading them in that moment, it's a different perspective to the last time you read them, to the last time you read that book. I don't know, tell me how do you feel? I want to know what you guys feel about rereading. Do you reread? Do you never go back to a book? Or do you go back occasionally? There are a few books that I go to regularly, and I think Jasper Jones, I've only read that once, but I would read that again for sure. So thanks for sharing that, Marie. Sandra, hi Sandra. Sandra says, hi Cheryl, I'm reading Unsettled by Kate Grenville. Don't we love Kate Grenville? Kaz says, hi everyone, I'm about to start The Long Night by Christian White. Segue. The Long Night by Christian White. That is our book of the month. And we are very, very thrilled to have Christian coming into the office. When's he coming in? In about 2 weeks. Is he going to be sitting with me? He's going to be sitting right here. Note that in your diary. In 2 weeks' time, 2 weeks from today, Christian White is going to be sitting next to me, and we're going to be asking you, what are you reading? So definitely worth joining us all the time, but especially when Christian White is here. And this is his new book, and it's called The Long Night. You know what I also did? I pulled out all his other books because he is one of those authors. I think The Nowhere Child was his debut fiction, and since then he's had so many books. I think it's 4 books, and have all sold brilliantly. That's Christian White. He's a great friend of Better Reading. We love him, and this is his new book. Okay. All right. Now I am going to. So can you see? I'm going to stand up. I'm wearing this T-shirt, and it's called "What Are You Reading?" Now we produced this merch specifically for this segment. We've got the merch in all shapes and sizes. We've got V-necks. Anyway, all the sizes are on the website. So I'm going to offer to everybody at home today watching, so you guys, and you can pass this on to family and friends, I'm going to give you 50% off all merch starting now and ends Saturday at 5 p.m. So 50% of everything on our merch website. So go to the Better Reading website, hit merch, and you've got to use a promo code. The promo code is Cheryl. Is that lowercase? all lowercase, Cheryl 50. Now, it's not my age, it's 50% off. So the promo code is Cheryl 50. 50. Okay, so it's Cheryl 50. And if you use that promo code, you will get 50% off all merch. So, you know, one of my favourite colours is the grey, and then we're not doing this anymore because the printer found it very difficult to print on the grey. So these are limited, the grey ones, which I think are really beautiful. Actually, I'm thinking I might take one home. But anyway, there you go. This is merch. What are you reading? We've got some buttons, if you want. The librarians love the buttons, so we've got those. And we've got a couple of notepads left, not many. We've sold out of the mugs and sold out of the bags. But we've got plenty of T-shirts, V-neck, crew neck, black, white and grey, and some of these. So use the promo code Cheryl, CHERYL 50, 50% off, ends Saturday. Okay, aren't you guys lucky? I just was in a generous mood this morning. Okay, what else have I got? Oh, we've got this wonderful new book, and I chatted with Marika Sosnowski just recently. She is an academic, I think, at Melbourne University Press, and she wrote this beautiful story about being forcibly displaced, historical story about being forcibly displaced from your home. Anyway, we had a really lovely conversation. The podcast is out now. If you're not listening to the podcast, you should. Actually, I had this beautiful woman in yesterday, and she said, Cheryl, I just love your podcast. They're so personal and you give so much. But that's because I'm comfortable talking to you guys, and I really enjoy the podcasts. They're all about the story in terms of how the author came to tell their story, and that's why we call them stories behind the story. Anyway, I think you know that. All right, what else have we got? Let me go through the comments. Where am I? Christian White. So we did the segue. That was Kaz. Thank you, Kaz. Astrid is reading Eva Reddy's Trip of a Lifetime. We actually had her in for What Are You Reading one time. That's a really fun book. Okay, David Hart. David's my friend in San Francisco. Hi, David. He says something Aussie this week is what he's reading, The Creeper by Margaret Hickey. We love Margaret. She's over in Perth, and she does come in every now and then. I hope you're enjoying that, David. Let me know how you go with it. Kylie says, your hair looks amazing, Cheryl. Oh my God, thank you, Kylie. I have lightened it a little bit, so thank you for the feedback. Jane says, I can't reread. Oh, can't reread anything. That's so interesting, isn't it? Okay, even your favourite book, you can't reread. Yeah, I get it. Okay, tell me. I firstly thought I read that you can't read, and I thought, no, Jane, I know you can read. Okay, Astrid said, oh, again, I never reread. Isn't that interesting? There are too many books I want to read, so rereading books I've already read, no, she's not going to do that. Julie says, hi, Cheryl, I'm listening to Melaleuca, which has been a favourite, by Angie Faye Martin. Very good Australian Indigenous fiction. It really is good. And you know, I recorded a podcast with her. Go find it. It's already released. Such a great conversation. I loved her. Kylie says, if I love a book, I will read it over and over again. Okay, well, there's someone like me. I probably don't read it that many times, but yes, I do read it again. Okay, me again. I'm just going to remind you, merchandise, T-shirts, buttons, promo code Cheryl50. I think it's in the comments. Have we got it in the comments? Yeah, it's in the comments. You can click through. 50% off all merch, okay, and only till Saturday. And you've got to put in the promo code. All right, okay, I've got a few more books here. This is wonderful. Jack Heath, Kill Your Boss. And it's about a guy who falls from the sky, and a detective can't escape from her past, and every aspect is really, really crazy. Sometimes work can be murder, and I think that this has got a bit of what we were just talking about, in Richard Osman style in terms of writing, and it's called Kill Your Boss. And also a bit like Benjamin Stevenson as well. But anyway, here it is. If you like those authors, you'll like Jack Heath. He's also written Kill Your Husbands and Kill Your Brother. Okay, that's him there. I'm going to go to some comments. If you've just joined us, Cheryl Arkle, Better Reading, what are you reading? We've got a merch sale on at the moment. The details are in comments, 50% off until Saturday. Okay, more comments here. Meredith says, hi Cheryl, my next book to read, It Takes a Town by Ophi Clifford. How do you pronounce that? I think I know that because I know her. Eva Clifford, yes. And that's a Irish spelling. A crime book I've never heard of, or the author. You will love it. She's been in here actually a few times, I think. Enjoy that, Meredith. Let me know what you think. Marie says, I quite enjoy rereading. I seem to miss moments the first time. Maybe some books are not made to be reread though. Yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe that's a really good point. Marie, thank you for that. Kylie has 5 books altogether of... Oh, the Christmas spirit is in the air at the moment. Oh, it is so in the air. We've been doing some Christmas promotions. Merch is the perfect Christmas present, so 50% off, but also books are the perfect Christmas presents. And segue, cookbooks. I love giving cookbooks for Christmas. This is a book called Salata. For those that live in Sydney, Michael Rantisi and his partner, Kirsty Frawley, they own Kepos Street Kitchen in Redfern. And he had an earlier book, I think it was called something Falafel. What was it called? It was called Falafel for Breakfast. And this is his new book, and it's called Salata. And he did a come to my kitchen with me, so I had him in my kitchen. But this is a book of just beautiful, wholesome salads. And, you know, where salads could be a meal, an absolute meal. They're not just the side dish. I love this book. Anyway, Salata, I think that makes a great Christmas present as well. Okay, more comments. What do we got? Kylie says the Christmas spirit. Yep, it is indeed. CJ says I'm reading Eruption by Michael Crichton and James Patterson. They've recently gotten together, I think, in terms of writing. Melissa says, hi Cheryl, I'm reading A Woman's Voice by Ali Sinclair, who I met at a recent author event. Isn't it wonderful meeting authors? We love it. Faye says, I don't reread either, too many books and not enough time. I get that argument. I hadn't thought about that, but I do get that argument. So yeah, no, I'm with you. CJ says, I love rereading favourites. You pick up additional things you missed the first time round. It resonates even more strongly. I agree with that, and I really do think for me, if it's been a couple of years, when you read it, it's of the moment, like whatever is happening around you know, because let's say you read a book about Palestine, 3 years ago, it's going to be very different if you read it now, if you know what I mean. Okay, Malvina says, I do reread, mainly the classics, always find something new. Sometimes reread earlier books in a series when a new one comes out. Yes, that's often good because it does help you catch up. I get that. Kaz says, Christian White, here he is. He's coming into the office in 2 weeks' time. He's going to be sitting right here and we're going to be doing What Are You Reading? What else have we got? What else? Christian has 5 books altogether. Okay, you might be right. We've got one missing. Thank you, Kylie, for letting us know. Astrid says, T-shirt ordered, thank you. They are really nice quality T-shirts. We actually source them from a company that has got a great reputation, AS Colour, right? And they're really lovely quality. They wash well, and crew neck, V-necks, black, white, grey, 50% off. Okay. All right, I think that's all the books that I have. Let me just read a few email messages. Thank you, Astrid, for buying a T-shirt. And there you go. I think we're done. I think that's it for today. So do I have to tell him? So Christian White's coming in a couple of weeks. We're going to have a Christmas party, so brace yourself for that. It will be a Thursday in December, and we'll give you more details of that coming up. What else do we have to tell people? Don't forget the merch sale, and come to my kitchen. Right. So that we've got an episode being released next week, and can I tell them what it is? Yeah, it is Michael's, isn't it? Oh, so it's Michael and Christy came to my kitchen at home and we filmed an episode and we had so much fun. I mean, he's a lovely, lovely, generous man. He's got a restaurant. He's so hardworking and I learnt so much from him. So we're releasing that next week on YouTube and on Facebook and you will absolutely love it. Okay, what have we got? Few more comments. Cheryl says, hi Cheryl, great name. I always say that. Cheryl is reading Tricia Stringer's The Road Trip and also Richard Osman's The Man Who Died Twice When I Visit the Doctor and Have to Wait. Okay, yeah, that's good to fill in time. Do you read many self-published titles? CJ's asked me that. Do you know, I do and I don't. Not many really, I just don't have time. And the problem I find sometimes with self-published titles is that they probably need a sharper edit. And the collaboration with publishers, I think, very often produces a better book. But I wouldn't diss them. A lot of authors self-publish and a lot of authors do very well and they're great story. So I tend not to have time for that because we get sent so many books that are published. But do you, CJ? And that's fine. What have we got? Made with Love. Just found out about this channel. I just finished Funny Story by Emily Henry and have picked up a curation of ghost stories next. Well, I'm so glad. So Made with Love's coming via YouTube. Welcome. Join us every Thursday, 2 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. Kylie says, thanks Cheryl and the team. Have a good rest of the week. And that's it for us. See you next time.